Joshua chapter 15 verses 20 to 63. The following is a list of the towns in each region given to the Judah clans. The first region was located in the southern desert along the border with Edom, and it had the following 29 towns with their surrounding villages: Kabzeel, Eder, Jagur, Kena, Dimona, Arada, Kadesh, Hazer of Ithnan, Ziph, Telem, Bealoth, Hazer Hadadah, Kerioth Hezron, which is also called Hazer, Ammon, Shema, Malada, Hazar Gaddah, Heshmon, Beth-Pelet, Hazar Shual, Beersheba and its surrounding villages, Bala, Iim, Ezem, Eltalad, Chesel, Hormah, Ziklag, Madmannah, Sansana, Leboath, Shillim, and En-Rimmon. The second region was located in the northern part of the lower foothills, and it had the following 14 towns with their surrounding villages: Eshtaol, Zorah, Ashna, Zanoah, Enganim, Tapua, Enam, Jarmuth, Adullam, Soko, Azekah, Sharaim, Adathaim, Gederah, and Gederothaim. The third region was located in the southern part of the lower foothills, and it had the following 16 towns with their surrounding villages: Zenan, Hadashah, Migdalgad, Dillon, Mizpeh, Joktheel, Lachish, Bozkath, Eglon, Kabban, Lamas, Chitlish, Gederoth, Beth-Dagon, Naamah, and Makkedah. The fourth region was located in the central part of the lower foothills, and it had the following 9 towns with their surrounding villages: Libnah, Ether, Ashan, Ifta, Ashna, Nezib, Keilah, Akzib, and Mareshah. The fifth region was located along the Mediterranean seacoast, and it had the following towns with their surrounding settlements and villages: Ekron and the towns between there and the coast, Ashdod and the larger towns nearby, Gaza, the towns from Gaza to the Egyptian Gorge, and the towns along the coast of the Mediterranean Sea. The sixth region was in the southwestern part of the hill country, and it had the following 11 towns with their surrounding villages: Shamir, Jadar, Soko, Danna, Kiriath-Sana, which is now called Debir, Anab, Eshtemo, Anim, Goshen, Holon, and Gilo. The seventh region was located in the south-central part of Judah's hill country, and it had the following 9 towns with their surrounding villages: Arab, Dumah, Eshan, Janim, Beth-Tapua, Aphekah, Humta, Kiriath-Arba, which is now called Hebron, and Zeir. The eighth region was located in the southeastern part of the hill country, and it had the following 10 towns with their surrounding villages: Maon, Carmel, Ziph, Judah, Jezreel, Jokdeam, Zanoah, Cain, Gibeah, and Timnah. The ninth region was located in the central part of Judah's hill country, and it had the following 6 towns with their surrounding villages: Halhul, Beth-Zur, Geder, Merith, Beth-Anath, and Eltekon. The 10th region was located in the north-central part of Judah's hill country, and it had the following 11 towns with their surrounding villages: Tekoa, Ephrath, which is also called Bethlehem, Peor, Etam, Kilon, Tatum, Shorish, Karam, Gallim, Bederer, and Manahath. The 11th region was located in the northern part of Judah's hill country, and it had the following 2 towns with their surrounding villages: Rabbah, and Kiriath-Baal, which is also called Kiriath-Jearim. The 12th region was located in the desert along the Dead Sea, and it had the following 6 towns with their surrounding villages: Beth-Araba, Middin, Sekekah, Nibshan, Salt Town, and En-Gedi. The Jebusites lived in Jerusalem, and the people of the Judah tribe could not capture the city and get rid of them. That's why Jebusites still live in Jerusalem along with the people of Judah. Joshua chapter 16. Ephraim and Manasseh are the 2 tribes descended from Joseph, and the following is a description of the land they received. The southern border of their land started at the Jordan River east of the spring at Jericho. From there it went west through the desert up to the hill country around Bethel. From Bethel it went to Luz and then to the border of the Archites in Adaroth. It continued west down to the land that belonged to the Japhlet clan, then went on to lower Beth-Horon, Gezer, and the Mediterranean Sea. The following is a description of the land that was divided among the clans of the Ephraim tribe. Their southern border started at Adaroth-Adar and went west to upper Beth-Horon and the Mediterranean Sea. Their northern border started on the east at Genoa, curved a little to the north, then came back south to Mikmethath and Tapua, where it followed the Kana Gorge west to the Mediterranean Sea. The eastern border started on the north near Genoa and went between Genoa on the southwest and Tanath Shiloh on the northeast. Then it went south to Ataroth, Nara, and on as far as the edge of the land that belonged to Jericho. At that point it turned east and went to the Jordan River. The clans of Ephraim received this region as their tribal land. Ephraim also had some towns and villages that were inside Manasseh's tribal land. Ephraim could not force the Canaanites out of Gezer, so there are still some Canaanites who live there among the Israelites. But now these Canaanites have to work as slaves for the Israelites. Joshua chapter 17. Manasseh was Joseph's oldest son, and Machir was Manasseh's oldest son. Machir had a son named Gilead, and some of his descendants had already received the regions of Gilead and Bashan because they were good warriors. The other clans of the Manasseh tribe descended from Gilead's sons Abiezer, Helek, Asriel, Shechem, Hepher, and Shemida. The following is a description of the land they received. Hepher's son Zelophehad did not have any sons, but he did have 5 daughters, Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. One day the clans that were descendants of Zelophehad's 5 daughters went to the priest Eleazar, Joshua, and the leaders of Israel. The people of these clans said, "The Lord told Moses to give us land just as he gave land to our relatives." Joshua followed the instructions and gave land to these 5 clans, as he had given land to the 5 clans that had descended from Hepher's brothers. So Manasseh's land west of the Jordan River was divided into 10 parts. The land of the Manasseh tribe went from its northern border with the Asher tribe south to Mikmethath, which is to the east of Shechem. The southern border started there, but curved even farther south to include the people who lived around Tappuah Spring. The town of Tappuah was on Manasseh's border with Ephraim. Although the land around Tappuah belonged to Manasseh, the town itself belonged to Ephraim. Then the border went west to the Kana Gorge and ran along the northern edge of the gorge to the Mediterranean Sea. The land south of the gorge belonged to Ephraim. And even though there were a few towns that belonged to Ephraim north of the gorge, the land north of the gorge belonged to Manasseh. The western border of Manasseh was the Mediterranean Sea, and the tribe shared a border with the Asher tribe on the northwest and with the Issachar tribe on the northeast. Manasseh was supposed to have the following towns with their surrounding villages inside the borders of Issachar's and Asher's tribal lands: Beth-shan, Ibleam, Ender, Tanakh, Megiddo, and Dor, which is also called Naphath. But the people of Manasseh could not capture these towns, so the Canaanites kept on living in them. When the Israelites grew stronger, they made the Canaanites in these towns work as their slaves, though they never did force them to leave. One day the Joseph tribes came to Joshua and asked, "Why didn't you give us more land? That has always been kind to us, and we have too many people for this small region." Joshua replied, "If there's not enough room for you in the hill country of Ephraim, then go into the forest that belonged to the Perizzites and the Rephaim. Clear out the trees and make more room for yourselves there." "Even if we do that," they answered, "there still won't be enough land for us in the hill country. And we can't move down into Jezreel Valley, because the Canaanites who live in Beth-shan and in other parts of the valley have iron chariots." "Your tribes do have a lot of people," Joshua admitted. "I'll give you more land. Your tribes are powerful, so you can have the rest of the hill country, but it's a forest, and you'll have to cut down the trees and clear the land. You can also have Jezreel Valley. Even though the Canaanites there are strong and have iron chariots, you can force them to leave the valley." Joshua chapter 18 verses 1 to 10. After Israel had captured the land, they met at Shiloh and set up the sacred tent. There were still 7 tribes without any land, so Joshua told the people, "The Judah tribe has already settled in its land in the south, and the Joseph tribes have settled in their land in the north. The tribes of Gad, Reuben, and East Manasseh already have the land that the Lord's servant Moses gave them east of the Jordan River. And the people of Levi won't receive land like the other tribes. Instead, they will serve thee as priests. But the rest of you haven't done a thing to take over any land. The God who was worshipped by your ancestors has given you the land, and now it's time to go ahead and settle there. 7 tribes still don't have any land. Each of these tribes should choose 3 men, and I'll send them to explore the remaining land. They will divide it into 7 regions, write a description of each region, and bring these descriptions back to me. I will find out from our God what region each tribe should get. Just before the men left camp, Joshua repeated their orders: explore the land and write a description of it. Then come back to Shiloh, and I will find out from how to divide the land. The men left and went across the land, dividing it into 7 regions. They wrote down a description of each region, town by town, and returned to Joshua at the camp at Shiloh. Joshua found out from how to divide the land, and he told the tribes what they had decided.